Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. I am very excited to do my March book haul today because I got so many good books. I got some very exciting arcs that I am dying to get to, a bunch of new special editions that I am obsessed with, and just a bunch of new books, new romances to add to my shelves. As usual for these monthly book hauls, let me start off with my arcs. I have not one, but three that I am just crazy about. First off, look at this stunning arc of Bewitched by Laura Thalassa. This is the first book in her new fantasy romance series, her new adult fantasy romance series. The cover is just so beautiful and it sounds amazing. I mean, I always end up loving anything that Laura Thalassa comes out with. I am always a huge fan of her fantasy romances, and this one kind of reminds me of her older series, the Fallen World series, because the hero kind of sounds like he is a bad guy, like a villainous hero. He is an ancient evil and he believes that the heroine who has awakened him, he thinks that she is his long dead wife who betrayed him. So it sounds intense. And not only that, the heroine ends up getting amnesia, or it's more like she starts losing her memories slowly because of some sort of magic, but whatever, it sounds amazing. I'm here for the ancient evil hero because I know Laura Thalassa can write some good bad guy heroes. The second arc that I screamed a little when I got this in the mail, this is In the Lives of Puppets by TJ Klune. TJ Klune is one of my favorite romance authors. I mean, I know his latest fantasies aren't really romance heavy, but they do have romances and they're all so beautiful. His writing is just phenomenal. I fell in love with him when I read the Green Creek series for the first time years ago. I was so sad when I finally finished that series, but I am loving his new stuff, his fantasy, magical type of reads. This one I'm not entirely sure what it's about, but it says it's inspired by The Adventures of Pinocchio. It's part Swiss Family Robinson, part Wally, and all heart. I'm sure there's gonna be another wonderful romance here. He's also so good at writing a found family. I just love his writing so much. And another arc that I was crazy excited about, and it also kind of matches my top right now with the purple, but this is the upcoming Tessa Bailey book, Unfortunately Yours. It's the sequel, the standalone sequel to Secretly Yours, which was adorable, and this time the heroine here is the sister of the hero from book one. She's returned home to their little town, to where their family's vineyard is, and we have a marriage of convenience trope here because the heroine, she needs to get married in order to get her trust fund. And the guy that she ends up marrying, he also runs his own vineyard. He actually got it from his late best friend, so he's trying to get it up and running again, but of course he needs the money to do so. So this sounds like a ton of fun. I don't remember Tessa Bailey writing a marriage of convenience before. This might be her first, but I am very excited for this one. I also got a bunch of other arcs. I mean, I'm still excited about these ones, but just not to the level as the other three. So this one is actually an arc of a book that is re-releasing because it got picked up by a publisher. It's Rock Bottom Girl by Lucy Score. I haven't read this one yet. I still have so many Lucy Score books to read, but they did send me an arc of it. It's got a new cover and everything, and it's being re-released this month in April. It's a small town fake dating romance, and it's set at a high school. The main characters are not high schoolers. I don't think Lucy Score writes younger main characters, but these ones, they work at the school together. The heroine takes a temporary position as a PE teacher and soccer coach, and the hero is a high school bad boy turned sexy good guy, and he's the tattooed track coach, dog dad, and teacher of the year. So these two make a deal. He'll teach her how to coach in exchange for her teaching him how to be in a relationship. I also got an arc of Jana Goes Wild by Farrah Heron. This one I'm excited about because it sounds so unique. It says it's a laugh out loud rom-com with tons of heart about family, friends, and starting fresh. I don't know if I believe any book that calls itself a rom-com anymore. It's a romance that takes place at a destination wedding in Africa and Tanzania. The heroine is a single mom and she gets a second chance romance with her ex, the father of her child. And like the title says, the heroine goes wild during this little wedding trip. This next one I'm also very curious about. It is Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. It's another wedding related romance, and it's another second chance romance. So the heroine here, she is the wedding planner and she gets this opportunity to plan a wedding for a big celebrity. The only thing is that the florist for this wedding is her ex and the guy whose heart she broke. And then this one I am very much looking forward to. It's Tastes Like Shakar by Nisha Sharma. It's part of the same series as Dating Dr. Jill, which I really enjoyed last year. Each book in the series is supposed to be inspired by Shakespeare. So the first one was The Taming of the Shrew, and then this one is Much Ado About Nothing. It is yet another wedding related romance. I don't know why. I guess it's just the season. But the heroine here, she is planning her best friend's wedding. The main couple from the first book, their wedding, and she falls for the groom's best friend who she does not like, and he is also a chef who is in charge of the menu for this wedding, so I guess it's also sort of a foodie romance. There's a little mystery with someone trying to sabotage this wedding, so the two of them have to work together to figure out what's going on and make sure that the wedding goes smoothly. So it sounds adorable, and I mean, I liked book one, so I'm sure I'll enjoy this one too. And then I have this Katie Robert arc, but this one is not a new book, it is a re-release. It's called Dark Succession, but it was previously known as The Marriage Contract, but they gave it a new title, a new cover and everything, so it is being re-released. The revamp was probably because of how Katie Robert has blown up since she first released The Marriage Contract and how she's been so big with the Dark Olympus series, so they wanted to match this older series with that. I read this one years ago when it first came out as The Marriage Contract, and it's a dark mafia romance. I mean, it's not too dark, it's definitely more on the suspenseful side, but it is mafia for anyone who is a big mafia romance fan, and it does have an arranged marriage. And then I have this cute little arc. It says Love is in the Air on the front, but that is not the title. The title is Falling Hard for the Royal Guard by Megan Clausen, and there's a cute little corgi on the spine here as well. I love it. So it says on the back, recipe for a royally good rom-com, relatable heroines with great hair, hot aloof book boyfriends with great hats, near misses and almost kisses, maybe a corgi or two. So it's a rom-com, a debut rom-com, and apparently the author got viral on TikTok. The bio says debut author Megan Clausen actually does live in the Tower of London, and she brings this authentic voice to every turn of the novel. Her story attracted attention in 2020 when her TikTok documenting her life was picked up by news outlets around the world. So that's interesting. It definitely sounds more like a Sophie Kinsella type of rom-com, but it does sound very different. And I also got this arc that is not a romance. It is The Invisible Hour by Alice Hoffman, and you know an author is big, or they put a ton of money into their marketing plan when the arc has some foiled embossing on it. I don't know if you can tell on camera that much, but the title and the author's name, it's got some fanciness to it. And this is just an arc too, so I'm sure the actual release is going to be pretty big. So it's about a woman who grew up in this oppressive cult, and she's somehow able to time travel. The blurb is kind of vague, but it also talks about the Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne that the heroine read and is now transporting herself back in time to, and it kind of sounds like she's falling in love with Nathaniel Hawthorne. I've never read The Scarlet Letter though. It was not high school required reading for me, but I just can't get over the embossing for this arc. I mean, some finished copies of books don't even get anything fancy like this. Other books, I got a bunch of finished copies that publishers sent my way. The one that I am the most excited about and I have no chill over is Happy Place by Emily Henry. This is the hardcover edition. This is the first hardcover from her. I guess finally she got big enough to do hardcover first. It's just a little annoying because it's not going to match the paperbacks that I have from her, but hopefully eventually we do get paperbacks for Happy Place. But yes, this is the bright pink hardcover, and this one is gonna be out this month in April. It's a fake dating second chance romance, so I already know I'm gonna love it. So the main characters here, they broke up a couple months ago, but they haven't told their friends. So when they all go on vacation together, they have to pretend to still be a couple. So I will be getting to this one soon for sure. This one came with the Lucy Score arc, Rock Bottom Girl. This is Forever Never. It's another republished book with a new cover. This one should be out already. Rock Bottom Girl is out in a little while. This one I also haven't read yet, but I love the sound of it because the heroine is the hero's brother's high school sweetheart, his boss's daughter, and also his ex-wife's best friend. So there's 3 different levels of forbidden here. She is the ultimate woman that the hero just can't have but wants, and it sounds like there's also some mystery, some suspense going on here in this small town. I got a finished copy of Off the Map by Trish Doller. This is yet another sort of contemporary woman's fiction-y type of book. I've read the last 2 books, I think those 2 plus this book. They're about 3 sisters, but I didn't really love the first 2, so I don't really have that high hopes for this one. The heroine here, she's been traveling in her Jeep around the world for 10 years. The hero is a cartographer who creates digital maps, so you know, this title makes sense. And these 2 meet in Dublin and they end up going on a road trip together. I got the newest historical romance from Martha Waters. It's To Swoon and to Spar, and I think this is book 4 in the Regency Vow series. I have read the series, but I don't love it. I think every book so far I've given 3 stars at the most. The sad thing is that they always sound so good, very silly and fun. Here we have a marriage of convenience. The hero wants to buy back his family's ancestral home from his uncle, and the only way he can do that is by first marrying his uncle's ward. So she comes up with this little scheme to pretend that this ancestral home is haunted to scare off the husband, and so she'll have the whole place to herself. It sounds super cute, right? So I don't know, maybe I'll end up enjoying this one a lot more than the others. I also got these 2 Be Celeste books. Bloom picked up these older books from Be Celeste. They are re-releases of Dare You to Hate Me and Beg You to Trust Me. I've never read these books. I've honestly never heard of them before, so I don't know if they also got new covers or anything, but they look like football romances. They're college football romances, and in Dare You to Hate Me, this one is a childhood friends to lovers romance. They were best friends and she wanted to run away with him back when they were 16, but he said no, and years later they reunite in college. And in Beg You to Trust Me, the heroine, she moves across the country to college, and unfortunately it sounds like she gets sexually assaulted one night at a party. The hero is one of the football players and he wants her, but she is dealing with what happened at that party. I also got quite a few new historical romances. I have not read historical romance in too long. So these 3 are mass markets. This one is Highland Beast by Heather McCollum. So obviously this one is a Highlander romance. And then this one has a cute title. It's The Prospector's Only Prospect by Danny Collins. It's a mail-order bride type of historical and also a western. And this one is How Not to Marry a Duke by Tina Gabrielle. Here we have a fake courting type of historical romance. And then we have a new Diana Biller historical romance. It's called Hotel of Secrets. Her covers for her historical romances are all so different. This one is my favorite of the 3 so far, so at least it's improving. In this one, the heroine, she wants to restore her family's hotel back to glory, but she has some things that are getting in her way here. Some masked assassins and an American foreign agent who saves her life twice. So we have a spy hero here. He's trying to investigate this Vienna hotel, which is the heroine's hotel. So it sounds fun. I do love a good secret agent historical romance. And then Sophie Jordan has a new historical romance, and it sounds very forbidden. It's got a very long title too. I don't know why. It's called The Scandalous Ladies of London, the Countess. So the heroine here, she is a lady and she's about to launch her daughter into society, but she ends up having an affair with her daughter's prospect. So very forbidden to fall for your daughter's suitor. There's probably, you know, an age gap here, older woman, younger man. The heroine is married. So it sounds very interesting for a Sophie Jordan historical. And the last historical here that I have is this finished copy of The Secret Lives of Country Gentlemen by KJ Charles. It's an MM historical romance. It's sort of a second chance romance. These 2 were lovers. One of the heroes is a gentleman and the other one comes from a family of smugglers. And here is yet another stack of romances that I got from publishers. I got The Love Wager by Lynn Painter. I'm very excited about about this one because I really enjoyed Mr. Wrong Number from last year. That one was super cute, and this one also sounds very fun. We have two main characters who are trying to make a wager on who can find love first. They meet on an app at first, and after a night together they agree that they are not right for each other. After that, they become friends. They try to help each other on their dates, and while they're trying to do that, they also go on fake dates together. This one is Jane and Edward by Melody Edwards. It's a modern reimagining of Jane Eyre. It's set at a law firm. The heroine becomes a legal assistant and she ends up falling for her new boss. I also got this beautiful new edition of Addicted for Now by Kristen Becca Ritchie. It's book 3 in the Addicted series, and the whole series has now been picked up by Berkeley, by a publisher, and it also has a bonus chapter at the end with Connor and Rose's first date, which I really need to get to. And then I also got this new edition of Travis by Mia Sheridan. This is yet another re-release. Bloom has just been picking up so many books lately, and this one is like a spin-off of Archer's Voice, which is Mia Sheridan's most popular book. I read that one years ago. I barely remember it, so I feel like I should do a reread of it before reading Travis. So this is a small town romance. The hero is the police chief and the heroine has just moved into town. I also got Real Love by Rachel Lindsay. The heroine is offered to be this new lead on a dating reality TV show, but she offers it to her sister instead, and then she ends up falling for her sister's friend. What's interesting about this one is that the author here, she was actually on The Bachelorette, so she has some reality TV show, dating show experience. I also got quite a few books that indie authors sent my way. I got a lovely package from Laura Pavlov for her newest small town romance release. So this is Into the Tide, and we have two covers for this one. This is the regular original one, and this is the discreet cover. Personally, I think I prefer the people cover here. So this one is a best friend's little sister small town romance. She asks the hero to be the man to take her V card. Also, here are the goodies that came with the books. There's a pen, a cute little notepad or a sticky pad, a little bag that says Small Towns, Big Hearts, and a tote bag that says Reynolds Bar and Grill, which I'm assuming is in the book. I also got two editions of a new release. This is Legacy of Shadows by Tessa Hale. They're both very pretty. This purple one is with the heroine on it, and then we have the discreet cover here. This one I love the sound of because it's a paranormal reverse harem romance. We have 5 heroes here: a best friend, a surly brooder, the kind-hearted nerd, King of Campus, and The Dark One. So this is also new adult set in college. I haven't read it yet, but it's on my TBR. And I also got My Dark Romeo by Parker S. Huntington and LJ Shen. They co-wrote this one. I don't read LJ Shen anymore, but I do love and read Parker S. Huntington. Parker sent this copy to me, and it also came with a cute little wedding invitation card. It's of course a Romeo and Juliet retelling, and it sounds like there's some sort of arranged marriage here. The heroine is supposed to marry Romeo's rival, but he steals her away instead, all for revenge. I also got this beautiful copy of Black Rose by Karina Halley. This is the second book, the last book in the Dracula duet, which I have read. I really liked book 1. Book 2 wasn't quite as good, but I'm still very happy to have this one. Also, the quality of this book is so nice. It's one of those floppy indie books. It feels like traditional publisher quality type of book, so it's light and nice. I love it. But let's talk about the actual story. So this one is a vampire romance. The hero is a vampire. He's the one who inspired Dracula, and the heroine, she is a reincarnation of his long lost love. I also got a hockey romance made for us by Natasha Madison. I have not read this author yet, but this one is an enemies to lovers grumpy sunshine hockey romance, so it does sound good. Oh, and it has a surprise baby. I know a lot of people hate the surprise baby, the surprise pregnancy trope, but I don't mind it. I got this rockstar romance, Sweet Memory by LJ Evans. The heroine is a keyboardist for this all-female rock band, and the hero is a producer. I also got this big old package from Harper L. Woods for her new fantasy romance. She just came out with book 3 in her Of Flesh and Bone series, which I have been reading. It's not like amazing, but I can't stop reading it, so there's that. I did already open it because I had to take pictures of it, but it came with this Of Flesh and Bone tote bag, a cool wooden snake bookmark, a holographic winter cord sticker, some more stickers down here, some amazing commission art. I've recently really gotten into art prints like these. Here's a not safe for work one at the top here. I'm gonna hide the not safe for work part. Here is a cauldress candle. Cauldress is the hero in the series, and it smells like warm fires, starlight, and mint. And of course, here is the latest book in the series, What Lurks Between the Fates by Harper L. Woods. This is the third book. I just got the audiobook from my library, so I will be reading it through that. Also, look at the map inside. I love it. So again, it's a fantasy romance series. We have some fae, fated mates, and there's also an evil queen. I also got a couple non-romances that publisher sent me. This one is not new. It's One Italian Summer by Rebecca Searle. It's new in paperback though, which is why they sent it out. Here, the heroine's mother dies right before they were supposed to take this mother-daughter trip to Italy. But when she goes on this trip, she shows up in Italy. Her mom somehow is there, but instead of her mom being her mom, she is her 30-year-old version of herself. Oh, I forgot, I got this arc of a YA book. This is Tilly in Technicolor by Maisie Eddings. It's a YA romance debut. The heroine has ADHD, and the main characters, they meet at an internship in Europe. I was very excited to get the new Jessie Q Sutanto. It's Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers, and I already love this title. This one is a mystery. It's a full-on mystery. It doesn't really have a romance like Ballet for Aunties. It's about an old Asian lady who finds a dead man in the middle of her tea shop. And then I got this Seth Rogen book called Yearbook. This is just a collection of his stories. Here is a YA fantasy, The Stolen Throne by Abigail Owen. This is the sequel to The Liar's Crown. Here is Solomon's Crown by Natasha Siegel. It's set in medieval Europe, and it's got an MM romance here. And I got this new fantasy from Anne Bishop, The Queen's Price. And then I did get some books from friends last month. This one is from Carrie from Booked for Romance. This one was just a surprise, so thank you so much, Carrie. It's Bittersweet Memories by Katharina Mara, who I've been loving so far this year. I read this one back in February. This is part of her Off Limits series, and we have Amnesia here, so I really liked it. I'll be seeing Katharina Mara later this year at Book Bonanza in June, so I am very happy to have a copy of this. And then Tori from A Novel Life sent me this belated birthday gift. It's It Ain't Me Babe by Tilly Cole. This is the first book in one of my favorite MC romances, dark MC romance series. I read it so long ago, and I'm also way behind on the series now, but I still love it. And then I did buy two new releases for myself. So this one is the new published edition of Never Never by Colleen Hoover and Taryn Fisher. I ordered this from Waterstones because this is the UK edition with the pretty gold foiling on it, the embossing. Honestly, I mostly got it because I wanted to add more to my order with the special edition TJ Klune book because I wanted to make the shipping cost worth it. But I have read this book. I've read this series a long time ago, back when it released as novellas. It was a very twisty series, but I'm happy to have this mostly because of how pretty the embossing is. And then I did buy the new Sylvia Day book, which has finally come out after like over 5 years of it being teased. It's so close, the first book in the Blacklist duet, and I did read it. I just finished reading it. I did a buddy read with my friend Charles from Books on Stereo, and it was interesting. I didn't love it. I knew going into it it wasn't gonna be like an actual romance, but it was interesting, very different. The ending was a little anticlimactic, but I will definitely be reading the second book just because I need to know what happens. I do love the look of this hardcover though. So this is the inside page, and then the pages with the quotes on them, and the naked hardcover also has a design on it as well. It's got a lily because the heroine's name, the main heroine, is named Lily. Again, this is not a romance, though we do have a second chance romance here. I really wish it could have been a full-on romance because the potential it had could have been amazing, but it is a thriller. It's like when a lot of popular romance authors, they start writing suspense and thrillers. So this is Sylvia Day's thriller era. And then of course I got myself some more special editions last month, but I will start off with the boxes that I'm a rep for. I am a rep for Hello Lovely box and their latest book in the Trope of the Month box, which is like a monthly box subscription. Each book is based off a different trope, and the latest trope, the one for March, was the ex's dad trope, and the book ended up being Tempt by Melanie Harlow. We have this beautiful illustrated cover, and the best thing about it is that we have a step back here as well. There's also an art print, a full color art print of the exact same step back image. I love it. I love the look of it. I haven't read the book yet, but it's on my TBR mainly because of the whole ex's dad trope. And then I also got the latest Arcane Society box, who I'm also a rep for. They featured C.N. Crawford in their last box. So here are the very pretty books. It's the first two books in the Court of the Sea Fae series, which is a trilogy. So if you did get this box, you had the option of pre-ordering the third book in the series as well. So this is book one, Dark King. It's got this beautiful underwater look to it and all the gold foiling here as well. There's the spine, and here is the sprayed edges. Book two, we have a winged hero here. So these are the sprayed edges, the back cover with another quote, and the pretty spine. But as much as I love these covers and these dust jackets, my favorite thing about these editions, these special editions, are probably the naked hardcovers. Like, look how stunning these are. This beautiful gold foiling on the front, and here is the back of book one. They both look so beautiful. I love it. They are stunning. I have not read C.N. Crawford before though. She is a new to me author, but now I think I need to read her. I believe each book in this trilogy is a standalone, or at least it's about a different couple. Also, these are the end papers for book one, and also some artwork on the inside. They also came with some pretty art prints and this bubbly pin. And then the special edition is from the Bookworm box. It's The Air He Breathes by Brittany C. Cherry. This is from the Bookworm box's very last box. They've stopped their subscription. They're gonna be closing down their store, unfortunately. I think Colleen Hoover and her family wanted to focus on some other things like Book Bonanza instead of the bookstore and the book box. But this book was part of their last box. And there was another book, but I didn't keep it because I don't read Kim Holden. But this one is pretty. I'm not sure I'm gonna keep it though because I didn't love this book. I did like it, but it wasn't a top favorite. And then I finally got some books from the Bookish box. These are from the November and December boxes, monthly boxes. The November book featured House of Beating Wings by Olivia Wildenstein. Here is the pretty special edition. Here's what the dust jacket looks like, the back side, and also the sprayed edges. It does have some very pretty end papers here. What I do like about Bookish box is that they have artwork on the other side of the dust jacket. So there's always two options if you don't like one side of the dust jacket. And then here is what the naked hardcover looks like. I do really like this red holographic foil on it. This one is some sort of fantasy romance with crows. There's just a lot of crows going on this cover. And then the December book was Between Wrath and Mercy by Jess Weisskopf. This one has just the naked hardcover. Here's the sprayed edges and the beautiful back cover. So all this pretty purple. The end papers are absolutely stunning though. Oh my gosh, look at this character art. I love it. I also haven't read this book yet, but I've heard amazing things about it. I know so many friends love this book. So it's on my TBR. It's another fantasy romance, and it's also very, very thick. And then the final special editions that I got are my absolute favorite thing that I got last month. I am still obsessed over this. It's my beautiful Helen Hoang special editions that I got from Illumicrate. We got some pretty special edition hardcovers of all three of Helen's books. So this is her debut, the first one, The Kiss Quotient, with this beautiful blue. And also the hardcovers do have beautiful end papers. They're different on the front and the back. So this is what the back of The Kiss Quotient looks like. And the naked hardcover does have a design as well. And then here is the second one, The Bride Test, which is my favorite favorite so far. It's so beautiful. It is so adorable. And the end papers here, Kai and his I Heart Taxes shirt. And then here are the other end papers on the back. And then here is the third and latest book from Helen Hoang, The Heart Principle. If you can believe it, I still have not read this one. I've been holding off on it for some reason, but look how pretty this hardcover looks. And here's the adorable end papers at the front. I do love this artist. I follow her on Instagram. Love her stuff. And here are the end papers on the back. They are all so perfect. I mean, it would have been nice if we got some foiling, but still, I am obsessed with them. I just adore Helen Hoang. She absolutely deserved these beautiful special editions. Illumicrate finally did some amazing special editions for romance books. They went all out. I mean, the back covers, oh my gosh. I love them. And that is all I got for the month of March. I got some fantastic books like usual. I will need to put my Helen Hoang special editions on display somehow. But yeah, that is everything that I got for the month of March. Let me know your thoughts if you have read any of these books that I got. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!